Good morning, fanatics. Welcome to Flow with the Markets Tuesday. Iliya here, as always, tuning in to have a little update on what happened on Monday and, of course, what we can expect today. But first of all, I want to start with the fact we are having an absolutely massive week in terms of news. So what I'm immediately going to say is that this week is not very high probability, and I would much prefer to actually skip this week to let all the news play out, to let all the manipulation happen, and then of course trade when the time comes. All right, because for example, yesterday we had PMI, today we have a couple of euro news coming in right now, then we have CPI for the euro, right, and that's today. So today we have CPI, tomorrow we have Fed's interest rate decision. Right, so first of all, of course, we're gonna start with some other news. Today we had the interest rate decision from the RBA. Tomorrow again, continuing with NZD and Aussie news, unemployment rate for the euro. Then we have PMI services, and then we have interest rate. So massive day on Wednesday. There is also a massive day on Thursday, and then we have NFP on Friday. So this week is bulked with news. Okay. So what you usually have during such weeks is a lot of choppy price action, a lot of manipulation, a lot of up and down, up and down, up and down price action. So again, if you trade during that time, you're only going to get stop losses because the big guys are going to be collecting the stop loss and then of course making the big move. So we want to trade after that big move happens, after we see the direction that they're committing to, and then of course we try to go with the flow. So let's see what we have for today. I'm gonna roll the intro and then we're just gonna get into it, keeping it nice and simple. All right, let's get into it. So Dixie, as you know, so this is pretty much my outlook from Saturday. Again, just looking at it very objectively at structure, this right there was a lower high. We broke it, and technically what I said is that we're currently bullish on the hourly time frame and we're also bearish on the daily. But you can see since we actually made this push, all we've had is like a very big kind of consolidation. Again, up and down, it went down, it went up, it went down, it went up again, right? So what happened yesterday is we had like a little up, down, up, right now going down again. So I still retain this kind of bias because again, some sort of liquidity is needed in order to fuel a move on the Dixie. And I do think this right there is a great, all of these highs. So we have one high, two highs right now, 3 which got taken. So yeah, I pretty much have these two highs right there that look really juicy to be taken and then potentially to introduce a new direction. So let's see, but again, you can see no change on the voyage, so same bias remains. And then of course you can start dropping onto the 50-minute time frame. Yesterday we had news during US session and you can see kind of we opened a little bit bullish. There was a long right there, then we had a very nice manipulation into the downside, and then we had a massive pump into the highs, and right now we are in a little bit of a correction. So to me, just looking at the overall kind of price action, we pretty much have this push. Right now we're in a correction phase, so hopefully we can have another push into the highs, which means that I'm gonna throw a little bit of a bullish bias right now. And my only kind of how to say that the only confidence that I use is that of course the forward time frame is bullish right now, and that I do believe, again, it's not about what I believe, it's about what actually is gonna happen. Is that I think we could be going on to take out this high right there as liquidity, because also this is the weak high, it's very equal, and I don't see the market reversing from any sort of level like this. You can see we formed this high, we retested the high, we retested the high, retested the high again, came in again, came in again. I mean, how many times is it gonna come in without actually pushing down? So this is why I do think we should be taking liquidity to the upside. So that's Dixie. I would expect one more push into the highs, which means one more push into the lows for EU. So EU, strangely, yesterday, I mean, we have a bullish market right there. This is a big daily demand, right? But again, this is the weekly outlook. So again, let's just keep in mind that EU is still overall bullish, okay? So if I just delete all of this and focus on what is happening right now, as we had a look at it, I deleted it, but there is our forward break construction. You can see the market came all the way towards the very, very, very extreme of this forward zone. And yesterday again, you can see what happens, right? The market opens bearish, boom, bullish, boom, bearish, right now correcting. So the bias is still bullish because we're still trading above this higher low. But if you just zoom out a little bit, I mean, you can see we are in a kind of an overall range. I can see here we got stuck for quite a while, and right now we're stuck in this. So there is no clear direction. So again, wait for the news to be over and then start trading the clear markets. In terms of the 50-minute, I mean, yesterday there were no trades to be taken. Probably a little short right there, but no, the short was wrong because that was our higher low on the 50-minute, and then we pretty much took out this low, tapped inside the hourly demand, and had this very nice push up. So even if you check out for longs, I don't think there were any textbook longs. Then New York news came in, massively pushed the market down, and right now we're kind of in a little bit of a bullish flow. So let's see what is happening right now. So yeah, there is no valid range. So this is currently right there, the last demand. I'm just looking on my other screen because I'm actually running a little short with another strategy that I'm using right there, and it just hit TP, so I have to close my trade. All right, nice. So yeah, currently what we have is an overall bullish flow of the market, and I just took like a counter trend trade based on a strategy that I'm currently working with and about to introduce to the community. But we had a very nice kind of trending Asian range, which means that the overall sentiment is bullish, right? But we made this high, took out the liquidity, and right now we're massively coming inside the demand. So guys, in terms of EU right now, by the time I do this analysis, this is the major 15-minute low. So right now the market is coming in and you can start looking for entries, longs. Okay, I personally took this short right there for a 2.2 hour, just closed it. And right now I'm going to be looking for longs. Okay, so let's see how it's going to play out. And of course, if we TC to the downside, you can of course then start following the bearishness, but I don't think it's a great idea because we have CPI incoming in a few hours, and we're probably going to have some whipsaws. So this is how the market is looking right now. We're still bullish on the FOH. The 50-minute is also bullish a little bit. So let's see how it's going to work out. Personally, I'm just going to be looking right now to see if we can have a long setup provided. So that's EU. And again, as we said, long on EU and maybe one more short on the Dixie, one more push down, but we also expect one more push into the upside. So again, guys, not very high probability right now. Let's check out. I'm going to try to keep it quick and simple. So again, the yen pairs, they had the news last week, interest rate decision for the yen. This is a good time to trade the yen. I mean, you just trend follow it. You can see just broke and just continues to pump up. So, I mean, yesterday, the market opened bullish, came in a little bit down, and I don't think you could have gotten any trades yesterday. I don't really think so. Yeah, because it did that same, oh no, had a break up, then you have a TC down, short here, short here, short here. So you got a couple of shorts as a pullback trade, and then again the news came in, pushed the market up, and then it continued to roll up. So right now what I tend to practice with my team right now is to actually think a little bit more logical. So if I ask you right now, does it make sense to go long right there? Not really. Why? Well, took out Asian high, very extended, massive hourly high, right? The daily candle was already massively printed a wick up and already retracing back. So exactly this positioning of price right now is not great for a long, okay? But this is our last higher low formation. So if you break below this one, then you can try to take a short. But of course, if you just stick to the rules, you could be looking to take a long right there, although there is absolutely no setup and I don't think it's gonna provide, but still, let's see. Okay, so that is EJ right now. I mean, definitely the bias is long, but in order for the market to continue pushing up, sometimes again it has to retrace a little bit to take some liquidity, and then of course it aligns bullish and then it starts pumping. Okay, you can always study this, right? Before a continuous move into the highs, we're having like a little correction. Right here actually spikes down and then continues, right? You can always study this, and like in a downtrend, it's always going to give you like a little spike up before it continues. So that is EJ. Let's see what's going to happen. We're going to return to it shortly. Aussie dollar yesterday, interest rate decision, massive pump, and it technically, when did the shift happen? Yeah, so the shift happened actually yesterday. So yesterday we aligned bullish on the FOH, and we had a little bit of a pullback. Then interest rate came in, massive push. So there is another breakout structure right now. You can take a big demand zone like that, and then drop to the 50 minutes. And yeah, could you have taken this big? So yesterday on the Aussie, chop. London news came in, up, down, preparing for the interest rate. But if you actually come in and study market structure, it broke down, it broke up trend change. On the 50-minute, what caused the trend change? Demand, tap, boom. So if you could have gotten this long, I mean, but you don't want to do this because you can get slipped really badly. So right now, is it a good time to trade? Not really. I mean, it's good to start trend following it because it's definitely bullish. And you can see this is kind of the last higher high, pulls back higher low, tries to push, fails. So right now it's probably trying to give an entry, but it's giving you right now the fake TC. So probably this low is going to get taken as liquidity. And then if it takes it, then if we get a TC, then you can of course try to take a long. So rather slightly risky because again, we had a massive trending Asian range. We took out actually the Asian high. We're in a massive quality high. So again, I would expect for the market to pull us back a little bit. But as I always keep saying to everyone and to my team, as long as it keeps going, you keep going with it, right? So keep following it until you're wrong. So bullish on the Aussie, definitely looking to see whether we're going to continue. AJ as well, I mean, just smashed it. We expected a pullback. Nope. Just continues to push. And I can see I have a projected target right there, which is kind of a weekly high probably, or a daily high that we can tackle. We have a new hourly zone right there. It's actually hourly higher low formation as well, which is really good. So once again, the Aussies are a little bit high right now. And their 15-minute is still bullish. But again, yeah, I mean on this one, this is the demand zone. So you can try to long from here. But again, do you see any momentum in this zone? Not really. Okay, so if I was looking to trade this one personally, I would look to skip it. So let's see. But again, going forward into the week, into this week, and even the incoming weeks, longs on the Aussies are going to be a great idea. So the next weekly outlook, guys, on Saturday, this is going to be big because we're going to have a monthly review as well. And we're going to study the market after all the news. So NZDUSD, what did I expect right there? For us to take out the high and then to align bearish. Why? Because we are bearish on daily. Well, this kind of happened. Well, this kind of happened. I mean, we had a reaction, we broke, and then we tried to, well, it technically did exactly what I thought it would do. So took out the high, then actually aligned bearish, but then immediately came on and aligned bullish. So this one is not ready to really commit. Okay. So what can we do right now? Well, it's technically bullish, tapping into daily supply. Okay, so you see, guys, I'm confused on this one right now because again, too many time frames. So when you're confused, remove everything. All right, what happened right now? Broke structure up. Okay, what caused the break? Well, it's pretty much this. Maybe we can try to find like something better. Not really. All right, so we're bullish. Okay, where is the market right now? Well, it's at a higher high. So what makes sense to trade? Well, you either continue following it or you wait for a pullback and then for an alignment to take a long. So if I just zoom in right now, what is the last range? It's this. And if the market breaks below this, we're having a trend change. Then of course we can try to take a short. Right, take a short, ride it into the downside, wait for alignment, and then take it into the highs. That's it. Okay, I don't need daily, I don't need this, I don't need that. Wow, my EU trade is massively going. I had to keep it going, but yeah, so you can see EU is actually doing a trend change right now, I believe, on the 50 minutes. Yep. Nice. So that is NZD. So I see that currently intraday we're having a very nice bearishness, so bullish dollar and bearish everything else. So I would prefer to have a trend change on this one and then for it to grab some more liquidity, maybe even come in to take out Asian low and then from there actually go up. So again, you also have to think like logically also of the daily candle. Right now we already kind of made a big push up. So usually it's not making a lot of sense to continue making that push up without actually making a little bit of a withdrawal to the downside. So that's NU. Simple. Bullish right now. Ignore what is happening on the left. We're bullish. Let's see how it's going to go. NJ took a massive high. So again, as I marked it right there, weekly / daily high, we came in and took it out. So that's very good. Oh, I removed my indicators. No. Okay, they're back. So remove drawings. Man, so this is not good. Okay, I don't like it. So we have demand level inside right there, but I wouldn't take this as a valid higher low. Yeah, not good. So NJ, the last higher low on NJ, which really sucks, is either this or it's either this, right? So I would personally be looking for a valid higher low to be created in order to then actually flow with it. Again, depending on your rules, you can also take this one right there. So let's see in terms of the 50-minute as well. Like again, massively into the highs, took out the high. It just came on and Technically, yeah, it's either this or this, and just took out the low as well. So bearish trend change. There is our short area. So you can look to right now take a retracement trade, which is a really good idea because we're very high. We took out a massive liquidity high, right? So again, you have to think logically. What makes sense right now? It makes sense for us to start a pullback. So let's see. We can look for something like this. A couple of shorts, tap in demand, alignment, bullish. So this is my projection. But again, guys, don't listen too much to my projections because anything could happen right now with all the news. And UJ just opened, continues to push. What you do, you follow it, right? You zoom in. This again is not a valid higher low formation to me, but it's a valid demand. Stop for a little bit again. Wow, this EU is dumping. Nice. Just dumps like crazy. Pullback, push. So yeah, this one is probably the same as the other JPYs. I mean, pushed up. Oh, this one is still bullish. Yeah, this one is still bullish, and that is our higher low formation. So let's see. I would personally, for UJ, I would wait for the CPI, for the Fed interest rate. Let's see, right? Let's see. This is a little bit high, but again, as long as I keep telling you, as long as it goes, you keep flowing with it. But there is going to be a time where it's going to actually TC down and give you a little bit of a liquidity gap before actually it continues going higher. So let's see. That is the current structure on UJ. But again, as I keep saying, I'm not going to be trading much this week. UCAT. UCAT going good. As I keep telling you, the first trend change, don't expect a big pullback, just a little bit. So there's your pullback, there is your continuation down. So we have technically a new structure breakdown. We have a new valid lower high supply. It's the lower high. The market pulls, reacted, and right now it's pulling back again. So it's probably coming in to grab more liquidity. Yeah, I mean, let's see if we can take a short. But again, as I keep telling you right now, we're having a very bullish DXY starting on Tuesday right now. And you can see this one aligned. So this one actually was a really good trade. Trending down, took out Asia low, aligned bullish with a trend change, which was actually right there. Aligned bullish. What caused the bullish alignment? This is a zone that actually also caused the liquidity gap. There is your long trade. Set and forget approach. Beautiful. So right now it taps inside this. It's taking the highs. It's taking this liquidity. It's probably even going to come in to take this one, right? So if you have a bearish TC on the 50-minute incoming on UCAT, well, that could be a good trade. So let's see. That's UCAT. Good long right there in London Open. Right now it's coming in fast. Let's see how it's gonna go. But of course you can just right now say, okay, new 50-minute break of structure. Right, there's my new demand zone. So you can also keep longing. So keep following the 50 minutes until you're wrong. Here's the Swiss. GU, I mean, yeah, GU took out the high right now, back into demand with this massive bearishness we're having this morning. Not sure how it's gonna hold. And knowing GU, it just took out the high, so it's gonna go on and take out the low. So this low looks very juicy to be taken on GU. And yeah, if you just have a look at the most recent momentum in yesterday, it's been bearish, right? So right now what happened? The market opened and just massively plummeted to the downside, taking lots of liquidity right there. So what I can say about this one is that this is our lower high. Market broke. You can look for shorts. Keep in mind you're in a massive demand, right? But you can be looking for shorts. So let's see. There is no news on GU, but I mean GU and GJ are going to be indirectly impacted by like the Fed, because the Fed impacts everything. But there is our current structure. I mean, we had a breakdown right there, so bearish. Either wait for this one to tap and take a short, or wait for a new range to form and then take a short again. Or of course wait for some sort of a bullish trend change from this demand zone. GJ probably started pretty bullish as well. Yeah. So started bullish, actually created a valid hourly higher low. Luckily on this pair we have it. There it is. And we just took out the high. So again, you can see when we take out a high, it doesn't make a lot of sense to go long. Right, so the market comes in, takes out this little high, trend change to the downside. So right now it makes sense to try to catch a short if you can, right? Towards the hourly demand, which is somewhere right there. All right, so maybe it's just gonna flush and tap inside and then you look for it. But again, if it gives you like a little pullback or something like this, you can try to catch a quick short as a pullback trade. So that's GJ, looking good. This is the hourly demand zone. So if and also valid higher low. So if it breaks, then you become bearish on the 4H, and then this is gonna be then a daily pullback. So if the hourly shifts bearish, then you're gonna have a daily pullback, and then potentially if the daily is gonna prevail, it's gonna push up. Gold, I'm not looking at gold. I'm just gonna skip. Wait for the interest rate. Again, yesterday bearish, bullish, bearish. it's gonna manipulate you a lot. So don't trade it. US30 as well. I'm not gonna trade US30 into the and indices into the interest rate. Again, you can see kind of chop, small candles, big bullish, big bearish, right? So technically right now we're having a trend change actually right there, which makes the 4-hourly bearish. It already pulled back and it's already starting to drop. Yep. So again, you can see massive move down, massive move up, massive move down, and right now it can have a massive move up. So again, guys, watch out. But again, for this one, we had a long trade right there yesterday. I think some of my guys could have taken it, but I don't think so. I told them not to trade, so nobody trades. And we have here supply, broke structure down. So shorts are in play right now. And in fact, again, as I told you, we're having a bearish 4H according to me. So if you can take a short, it's lovely. Nasdaq, I'm not touching it right now. Just look at it. I mean, so just skip trading Nasdaq. Doesn't look good. And same for S&P. Although, I mean, S&P also looks like it kind of shifting bearish on the 4H, right? Same structure on US 30. Started bullish, trend change down. So if you can take a short, that's good. But again, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. I don't want to make this too long because, again, as I told you, I'm not going to be trading this week. I just took a little trade right there. It wasn't even full risk, just testing the strategy on the EU. But yeah, I mean, DXY, again, as we projected, this high could be the target right now. We're starting Tuesday with a very nice push. So hopefully this is where the market is going to be seeking to tap, right? You can see EU just straight flushed. As I told you, this is the last valid higher low formation. It just blasted through the floor. I mean, it didn't give you no signal. So again, what I always try to explain is that, again, I can show you those levels, but again, that does not mean I'm going to trade from those levels because we have a very specific entry system that has to develop a series of events before we take a trade. So now EURUSD is back into this demand, but again, I just think the market failed to push into the highs from here. It came massively aggressively down, almost broke the low, but it did not, and then just correctively pulled back as a reaction point. And right now we can be going on to take out the low on EU. And then of course we have CPI and stuff, so don't trade. Also, Euro Yen shifted a reverse down, so we can look for shorts. Aussie dollar is also reversing down. So let's see if it actually gave us a setup. I told you this one is fake liquidity, but then it just came in, took it, and never provided a long trade. That's the beauty of having an entry system. And you also bearish. Yeah, we can see the vibe right now. We can see the vibe. Everything was high, and right now it reverses down. Gold, I'm not even going to look at gold. So I am going to wrap it up here, guys. Again, final messages. Be careful. Lots of news ahead of us. So better to skip this week, work on something else, work on backtesting, work on education. And then next week, I'm going to go big next week because after all of this news, May is coming in. So it's time to actually take some amazing trades. So Fanatics, take care. Wishing you an amazing week. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. And again, trade very, very, very safe.